Happy Sunday morning. Welcome to another episode of Bad Calls, Balls. Why can't I say it this morning, man? I am so focused on tonight's game. I don't even know what's going on. Welcome to another episode of Bad Calls, Balls, and Brawls. It's your girl, 305 Sports Babe, co-host Miami Lou. And I don't like doing shows on Sunday because, as you can see, I'm not focused on shows. I'm focused on games. So, welcome.
Yes, no, it's obviously a monster day for Dolphins and all of Dolphins Nation. A lot going on, and you're going to talk about all the particulars that are going to be happening leading up to kickoff. Pregame, the gates open at what time?
The gates open at an hour before the game, so that would be like between 7 and 7:20.
No, I'm talking about the gates, parking.
Oh, parking. Oh, that's 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
So a lot of activities leading up to it, and you're going to talk about that later. But yeah, let's get into. You want to recap what happened last week, or not really?
Do we have to I try to keep positive vibes on the show. So last week we had the Minnesota Vikings come to town, and Minnesota is one of those teams where they're just like subpar. But given the division that they're in, they actually look better than they are, which it happens, right? It happens all the time. And so the Vikings came to town last week. Shout out to their fans. Really, really, really classy fans coming in from Minnesota. Their outfits, their attitude. Just don't like the fact that you took over our tailgate, East 12. But we were very inclusive of everybody. We always invite everybody. We just didn't know that you were scouting out our location and showed up. But no, it was a beautiful Sunday last week. We were going into that game. We lost 2 games, and we're like, we cannot do this again. We knew that Skylar was going to be our quarterback, and we were pretty, we were going to take it for what it was. And then Skylar gets hurt, and our defense looked good last week. But with Teddy Bridgewater and the transition from Skylar to Teddy, everything just collapsed. And going into and I know you weren't at the game, but going into the third, like I was deflated at that point. So It was a rough Sunday, right? A third straight loss is rough.
Yeah, I know you were at the game with your brother. Your brother came down, spent some time down here. So it was obviously great to have him. I was listening to the game on the radio, and then I attempted to watch the game back, but it was tough for me to do so. So I just stuck to the highlights, and look, it could be summed up based on what I heard on the radio, and then you see obviously afterward the 5 penalties on one drive between that and drop balls is just that summed up the whole game as itself. So,
and I'll tell you, somebody that I hate to say it, but it is what it is. Is disappointing me more and more and more is Sanders. Sanders. Going into the season, I raved about you, right? I would say he's like the best kicker, if not top 2 kickers next to the kickers from the Ravens. And it's just he's missing these crucial kicks. And I mean, that's 3 points here, 3 points there, but that's difference, right? Yeah. So Sanders, you're killing me, Smalls. You have one job, get that ball through the goal, and come on, get it together. Like, I don't know what's up with him this year.
Yeah, no, he's just been inconsistent.
Yeah.
He's missed easy kicks when he's had the opportunity. He's even missed extra points. He's had a chance to have extra points. Not just they've been blocked as well. But I mean, you can't miss chip shot field goals and extra points. This many going into week 7 now. So
definitely. Good morning, Cap. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday football. Big game tonight. I'm a morning person, right? So like bedtime for me is like 9 p.m. So I'm like trying to like pace myself. So we got it, really looking forward to tonight's game. But yeah, we're just talking about last week's game, not to really hone on it too much, let bygones be bygones. Vikings beat us fair and square, right? It is what it is. And we just move on from it. And right now we're at 500, we're 3-3. And tonight's a big game.
It's a huge game. And I have the numbers here, not good numbers, but
okay.
So today it's a huge deal. Since NBC took over the package in 2006, this is only the Dolphins' 3rd scheduled appearance.
For a Sunday night game.
Correct. They played Sunday night, obviously, has been going on since forever.
Forever, yeah.
It was on ESPN for a long time, and then when NBC took over the package, as I said, in 2006, this is only the 2nd time the Dolphins have been scheduled to play on Sunday Night Football, which is the premier game of the week.
Of course.
We lost to the Jets in 2010.
Gross.
We lost to the Raiders in 2017. I was actually at that game. And then we actually got flexed to the Sunday night game in 2009 against the Patriots. We lost that one as well.
So we don't do good on Sunday night games, clearly.
No. And then, and NBC in general. So Also, the first ever game on NBC was in 2006, and that was a Thursday night game on NBC. Ironically enough, was against the Steelers as well.
Yeah.
The Steelers had won the Super Bowl the year before in 2005, and they kicked off the season against the Dolphins on Thursday Night Football, but it was on NBC. Dante Culpepper, who the Dolphins dropped the ball on that, and they had a chance to get Drew Brees. For those of you guys,
I remember that.
Those of you guys out there who know the story, we had a chance to get Drew Brees, ended up with Culpepper, so we lost that one again. So all told, the Dolphins are 0-4 on NBC, 0-3 on Sunday nights. So I just want to rip that up.
Tear that bad juju on the show. Yeah. Get that out of here.
Set up.
Throw it out. Goodbye.
And hopefully we come out victorious tonight.
Oh heavens, no! I didn't realize that was our Sunday night record. What do you think it is? Do you think I don't want it to be choke on primetime because obviously we've done well in Thursday night games and stuff. It's just a Sunday like the spotlight.
So look, the Sunday night game, as we said, is the premier game of the week. So number one, we've played so little games. I forgot to mention the Jaguars are the only team that has played less games than the Dolphins on Sunday night, but they actually won a game. We haven't. So we're the only team in the league that has not won a Sunday night game.
Repeat that. We have never won a Sunday night football game. And that's not even home or away. That's just on Sunday
night. That's just on Sunday night. Correct. Sunday night since they took over on NBC 6.
All right, but there's a lot of – go ahead,
sorry. Hold on. So the reason why is because it tells you the fact that we've had such little games on Sunday night. We haven't been a good team. But only the great teams get the privilege to play on Sunday Night Football. We haven't been great in a long time. And so – we just haven't had a chance to have that marquee matchup. And then when we are, part of it being a marquee matchup, we're going up against another good team. So that's why we've had not a lot of success and not a lot of appearances.
No, and going against the Steelers are one of those teams. I think of pesky teams, right? I'm not thinking AFC East teams. I'm just thinking teams in the league as a whole that I just don't like playing against. And it's really two of them come into my mind, the Steelers and the Ravens. It's like those teams, for some reason, it's like you don't go into those games comfortable no matter who they have, no matter who we have. It's just like those names of those teams and given, their history with us, those are just two teams that I just don't like playing against. I don't care who their quarterback is. I know Ben Roethlisberger is no longer there. They have Brian Flores and all these other moves and stuff, but I just never feel confident going against those two organizations, the Steelers and the Ravens. It's weird,
Correct.
I know.
Yeah, it's always tough to play the Steelers. I know that they're going to have a lot of fans out there tonight. They'll have the terrible towels will be out. Their yellow terrible towels will be waving on the fans.
They travel well. They're a great fan base. I mean, Dan Marino's originally from Pittsburgh, right? So a lot of them, even though they may hate the Dolphins, they do have love for Dan. So, I mean, I don't hate the Steelers fans, right? I've never had any issues with them. Up north, there's a lot of Steelers fans that, I've been in contact with and friends with. But it's just one of those organizations where you just, you don't know. Cap says, I know we are positive about tonight. On paper, we should pull it off, but I ask you both the dreaded hypothetical question. If we lose, do we make a move before the trade deadline? And I'm going to tell you exactly who it is. It's going to be Gesicki, right? Gesicki's one of those guys. Here, let me leave up the question so you can answer it as well. Gesicki's been on the talks for a while now. And let's face it, Gesicki's a great player. But the thing is, does he really fit McDaniel's offense? And even if he ends up losing – if he ends up leaving, it's not a doubt in my mind that he'll be a superstar wherever he goes, right? But I just think that they are going to make that move, and Gesicki will be the first one to go. And that's the first one that comes to my mind. And Cap, give us who do you think as well? But who do you think
Cap answers. So basically, look, he's coming off a 2-touchdown game. He just scored 2 touchdowns. So yes, he hasn't been involved to date, but last week they finally got him the ball, and he scored 2 touchdowns with it. So. I can't see a scenario where we lose tonight. If we lose tonight and make it 4 in a row,
oh my goodness!
With everything that's going to go in tonight, and we're going to talk about it soon. 72 reunion, 50th year anniversary celebration, first Sunday night game in 5 years.
Tua's back.
Just so
Stephen
many.
Ross is back.
Well, I don't know about that.
But let's just say facts here. Okay, so answer Cap's question. Who do you think would get traded if we had to make a move?
I think Gesicki is the marquee value guy, and that would be the most logical. You saw what the 49ers did. The 49ers just set the NFL world on fire by giving up draft picks for one of the premier running backs in Christian McCaffrey. So, something like that isn't out of the realm of the possibility. We have an abundance of picks coming up, even though we lost our pick this year because of Stephen Ross that you just mentioned. But if you got to trade draft picks to get a guy who's going to make your team better, which in this case, the deficiencies right now are on O-line and the D-line. We're not getting enough pressure on the quarterback, and we're not protecting our quarterback, obviously.
Yeah.
So if you can trade draft picks or use Gesicki, if that's what it takes to get a premier pass rusher or a top O lineman, I think you got to do it.
I agree.
What did Cap say?
No, Cap didn't give us. He wanted to scout our answers first.
Okay.
Right, but yeah,
you're right. All right, go. Talk about tonight's. What's going on tonight? The festivities.
Yeah. So tonight, huge game for those looking for tickets, guys. I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm the first one to try to help you get tickets. They're very, very expensive tonight. Those are a hot commodity. Trust me, if you're in town, I'm the first one to say YOLO. Make it happen if you could. But it is a very, 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 very hot ticket tonight. Even parking's going for a lot of money.
Yes.
Gates for parking will open up around 4:00, and it's going to be packed, right? It's going to be Steelers fans travel well. The hype of the 72 season. TUA is back. You have all these different ingredients that, like, it's going to be packed. So give yourself plenty of time to get to the stadium, to park, and to everything.
Got a couple of things that they're giving. Well, they're doing a giveaway.
So there's different like cool things, which I'm all about, like, bringing us back 1972. The first 20,000 fans into the stadium, so not into the park, into the stadium through the gates, will receive an not actual, but a really, really, really nice copy of a 1972 stub ticket from that season.
Well, I think it's tonight's game. It's tonight's game, but with the 72 insignia on.
Yeah, so an actual, like, ticket, something that, like, we don't get anymore. Everything's on the phone, which I hate.
Don't get me started on that.
I
have a box full of, like, multiple boxes actually full of, like, tickets. It was.
And I have, like, some tickets. So I was a big, obviously you guys know, a huge New Jersey Nets fan growing up. So I went to a lot of Nets games growing up, and that's why I resonate with the Heat a lot, because basketball is just so important to me. So is football, but basketball is very important. So I have all those tickets from the 2006 Nets season, and they're, like, all on our bedroom floor and stuff. I don't know. I need a box as well.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're getting the tickets for the first 20,000 fans. One thing that I know you are very excited about is the concession prices on certain booths throughout the stadium. They are actually bringing 1972 prices. So a hot dog is like 75 cents. A soft drink is like $1.75, and popcorn is like $1.
I think it's the opposite.
Or it's something. Everything's under $2.
$1.75.
Yeah. So everything's like under $2 on only those stands. So, like, don't go to, like, the regular, like, Shula burger stand and expect to get, like, a $2 drink. No, it's like designated booths, which those lines will be crazy for 1972 prices. So take advantage of that as well, because you guys know the cost of concessions at the Hard Rock is just crazy. And then at halftime, the thing that I'm mostly looking forward to is I'm actually glad they're doing this at halftime and not before the game. They are honoring the 1972 season. So anybody who's still, alive from the 1972 season, and then the deceased players, their families are coming back to do a beautiful ceremony at halftime honoring that glorious season and to honor those guys. So cool stuff before the game. And then don't forget, we do have the 1972 museum that, embarrassingly enough, we still haven't got to it.
Yeah.
So it's at the stadium. I've seen a lot of people's pictures and stuff. So we're going to be checking that out as well at some point tonight. And then obviously you guys know our tailgate, East 12, East 32, East 32, East 12. And then at 6 o'clock, from 6 to 6:30, meet us at the MetaFans tent. Really, really fun party going on there. All the food, all the drinks that you can have. Yes, it's completely free.
It is your pre-birthday. So,
okay, I wasn't going to say anything, but you could say it.
Yes.
My birthday is tomorrow, so we are having a pretty big celebration at 6:30, birthday shots, and do a lot of fun things. So if you are at the game tonight, please stop by East 12. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to do a birthday. Not do birthday shots with everybody. One birthday shot at a certain time. And I have to preface that. I'm like, that's going to be rough. So just a lot going on. Like, granted, yes, it's a Sunday night game. TUA is back. Brian Flores is back in town. Tron Armstead, one of my favorite players, is back. There's so many exciting things, but then you have the excitement of the 72. So it's just an exciting event altogether. Cap gave us his answer. I would use our draft capital 1,000%. We need to stop being squirrels, stashing nuts. Oh, I love that.
That's a great one. I got to
Stop stashing nuts. If we're serious, not squashing nuts.
Stashing nuts.
No one's squashing nuts. Ew.
I don't know where my head's at this morning. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't even say bad calls, balls, and brawls. We need to stop being squirrels stashing nuts. The nuts stashed their squirrel. The squirrels stashed their nuts in their face. If we're serious about winning this year, make a move. If we win, all is forgiven. But we have to have a contingency plan. Oh, that's 1,000%. No, 1,000%. We win, let it go. But if not, we need to really, really figure this out, and we can't wait any longer unless this year's going to be a bust, right?
Agreed, 100%. He's nailed it.
No, he's accurate. So yeah, a lot of fun things going on tonight. And for those who are not coming to the game, can't make it, or elsewhere, game is an 8:20 kickoff on NBC. So
yeah, they have the spotlight to themselves, which is something that doesn't often happen. Even when we played on Thursday night a couple weeks back against the Bengals, it was on Prime, and a lot of people
Amazon,
Prime,
all that
the
stuff.
package so far has been weak, very awful. The games have been bad. Then you have to subscribe. It's like a whole issue. So a lot of people just are boycotting and not watching that Thursday night game.
Yeah.
But people will watch tonight. The eyes will be, the work week's winding down. People always tune into that Sunday game. They got the spotlight to themselves. They hype up the game pretty well.
I got to say something now.
Yeah.
They have not done a good job promoting this game. They're not hyping it. I've been watching TV all week. I've been watching baseball. I mean, I've seen on social media with our people, the world is not hyping this game up. Granted, yeah, both teams are very mediocre right now. So, but there's a lot of the back end that people don't know.
Look, it's not an attractive game.
That's what it is.
The Steelers keep saying that they're, not tanking. They're tanking. They put in the rookie already, which is another reason why we got to come out strong tonight. But they already switched to their rookie quarterback. Their record isn't all that great.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming off a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah.
So it's not a very marketable game. Steelers and Dolphins have, passionate fan bases, and they are two traditionally rich history teams.
Yeah.
But again, they've been kind of down in their luck. So that's what it is. Now, I mentioned this a couple weeks back, and with Tua coming, making his return, I think a lot of people are going to be tuning in tonight to see when and how Tua takes a hit.
That's exactly what it is.
How he survives. So
that's how it is.
It's almost going to be like, it's ironic because NASCAR is on NBC. I think that a lot of people are going to be tuning in with a NASCAR effect. Oh, let's see when Tua gets hit.
Let the last 5 laps and see when the big crash is going to be.
When a crash is going to happen. So it's unfortunate.
That's a powerful.
But I think it's a comparison.
Our friend Sandy would really appreciate that analogy.
I think that's the way it's going to be tonight. But we'll see.
Yeah. So, big game tonight. You want to talk about the game, or you want to get into a little more in 1972?
We can talk about the game afterwards. Let's get to the segment so we can. Do you have my music for me?
Okay, I made Lou a little video a few weeks ago, and now he's like, hype it. All right.
And
action. Wait, hold on. Tranquilo.
Set it up. I love it. I still can't get over that thing. That's awesome.
It took you like 30 seconds to make.
Well, look, it's 30 seconds very well spent. It was awesome.
I said it often too.
All right, stop. Come on. All right. Let's get right to our segment here. Play one more time. No.
Okay, one more time.
No. Kidding.
One more time. We're like silly today.
I just noticed that the football had eyes on it. So
we're a little tired. We went to the Heat game last night. Heat finally won. Thanks be to Jesus. Finally won a game. I mean, granted, it's only game 3, but still.
We'll get into that later. Let's get right into this now. All right. So I'm going to just throw out some facts.
What happened in 1972?
Yes. Let's talk cost of living. All right. I'm going to give you a couple of facts here about cost of living in 72. Okay. I'll blow through these so we can get to the main sticking point here. The average income in 1972 was $11,800
per month.
No, that's for the year. Okay. That was the average income. $11,800. If you wanted to buy a house, the average cost of a house was $27,550. Okay. The average cost of rent. This number really blew me away.
Let me guess.
The average cost of rent right now in Miami is about $3,000.
$3,000 for sure it is.
Something insane like that. Really.
3, yeah.
The average cost of rent in 72 was $165.
I'd be so out of this place. I'd be so out.
Wow. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. It's
wow. Okay. And if you wanted to buy a brand new Ford Pinto, you could do so for $2,078. Ford Pinto was a big time car back in the day. So $2,078 you can buy. $2,078 you could buy a brand new Ford Pinto. Pretty crazy. Okay. All right. So let's talk about celebrity birthdays in 1972.
On October 23rd?
No, this is one from I couldn't find anybody this week. So.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. My grandfather, God rest his soul, is one. He's
Well, you could say it. I mean, it's. Okay, so we'll stick to mine. Remember, you have to be born in 72, obviously.
Oh, no, he was born in 72.
Yeah, so all right.
I was just thinking of the 23rd.
No. All right, so since the Dolphins are playing on Primetime tonight, the Big Show, if you will, today's celebrity birthday is the Big Show, the wrestler. Big Show.
Welcome to the Big Show.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that. That's what
Big Show was born on February 8th, 1972. He's 50 years old. He was born Paul Donald White II.
Put him in the Hall of Fame for the presidents.
Paul Donald White II. The Big Show. He was a 7-time heavyweight champion, and I mean heavy. Now, the Big Show won his belts in both the WCW and the WWF. During his storied career, he wrestled at a height of 7 feet tall and over 450 pounds.
Big man.
Yeah.
Put him on our
D-line and our O-line right now.
Although Caleb Martin's going on there next.
Yeah, pretty much. With that tackle last night. He's been in movies like Jingle All the Way and The Waterboy, to name a few.
Yeah. I know who he is. You got to educate me.
No, I'm telling you some facts. He was billed as Andre the Giant's son when he first came up. He wore kind of like the leotard that Andre the Giant wore.
The one that you wear sometimes.
Sometimes I wear that. I'll be wearing that on Halloween, so steer clear of the streets.
Don't come to Miami Beach.
If you don't want to see that. Now, the Big Show, when he was 11 years old, he was already 6 feet tall, weighed 225 pounds, and had a full set of chest hair. So full chest hair at 11 years old.
When did you start?
Like 3 weeks ago. But yeah, the Big Show. I mean.
Oh my God! I went frozen there.
Sorry.
We're too silly today. What did you? Dunkin' Donuts spiked us today.
Yeah, the Big Show. There you go. That's today's celebrity 1972 because we're playing on the Big Show tonight. So the Big Show is our celebrity of the week. Sorry. Cheesy. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about what happened in week 5. And actually something really big did happen in week 5.
I can probably guess we won week 5 in 1972.
So far, you're perfect on that. You haven't gotten that wrong. In week 5, the Dolphins defeated the San Diego Chargers 24-10 in the Orange Bowl.
24-10? That's your birthday.
24-10. There you go. Okay.
That's it.
The game was played on October the 15th, and it was a 1 o'clock kickoff. Game time temperature was 78 degrees.
In San Diego or here?
No, here. I just told you, the Orange Bowl.
I wasn't listening.
24-10 in the Orange Bowl on October the 15th, 1 p.m. kickoff. Game time temperature 78 degrees.
It's crispy. That's nice.
That's beautiful. It was actually cool this week too, so it actually
we had very nice weather this week,
and more expected. I think.
So actually,
it'll be chilly tonight, probably.
Yeah, it'll be in the 60s.
Okay.
Last week it was the coldest October in Fort Lauderdale, Miami history in like many years.
In that day, though.
No, in the whole month of October.
Oh wow.
We don't drop into the 60s in October, and that happened like a few days ago.
Oh.
So it was like record breaking. I actually brought out the boots. Not the white boots, not the game day boots, the boots, and it was crispy. I love that weather, man.
Yeah, no, it's coming.
That's why I leave our house at 68 degrees, so I feel at home. That's why the electric bill is how much it is.
Just open up the windows in this case.
No, okay, go ahead.
All right, so
nice day.
The Dolphins jumped out to a commanding 17-3 lead at halftime. Okay, and they were led by safety Dick Anderson, number 40. Who was Nick Needham's number? Nick Needham, of course, went out last week.
Not career ended, season ended.
Season ending, yeah.
Season ended. But, oh, man, he went down so hard.
Yeah. So Dick Anderson had a 35-yard defensive fumble return for a touchdown.
Okay.
And Garo Yepremian knocked a 37-yard field goal in before the half. Howard Twilley and Hall of Famer Paul Warfield both caught touchdowns. But here's the real breaking news. They caught touchdowns from backup quarterback Earl Morrall because Bob Greasy, yes, was actually hurt in this game.
And he was hurt for a lot of games that season.
So here's the thing. He was hurt for the remainder of the season.
So they came on with a backup quarterback, but we can't win with a backup quarterback?
So that's where I'm going with it. Maybe this is the reverse with Tua coming back. We did the reverse of the 70. Hopefully it's the reverse of the 72 season. The backup quarterback started games and then,
I just had the weirdest I just wanted to rub Musgrove's ears right now, just as good luck. I don't know. I just had an urge to rub like something for good luck instead of like Buddha's head. And instead of Buddha's head, I just thought Musgrove's ears.
They're real shiny, those ears, Musgrove. But he's about to have a long off season, hopefully, here coming up. But,
we'll take him in Miami anytime.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was a big takeaway. The Dolphins did win the game 24-10, but
it was out, and the backup quarterback went in.
Yes. Well, that's the biggest story of them all. And you had to think that, Earl Morrall coming in at that time, I think he was one of the oldest quarterbacks in the league. He was already like in his late 30s. So him coming into the game and then losing Bob Greasy was probably panic time. People were like, "Oh, we're off to a good start." Remember, the previous year the Dolphins were in the Super Bowl and lost it. Yeah. They expected, obviously.
We went over that in the show last week.
Yeah, right. You had a great show with the author. Great.
But we were 18-0 with Ray Lodato. Him and his father documented the 1972 season. So 1972 season, 17-0. That's what I said.
Yeah, 17-0.
Oh, I said 18?
Yeah, 17-0.
Oh, why did I say that?
But again, the big takeaway is Bob Greasy goes down in week 5. And the Dolphins are now probably questioning how they're going to navigate. And I think they navigated pretty well. But you have to tune in next week to see how they did in their first game with Earl Morrall as a starting quarterback. So
is he still around?
No, he's not.
He passed?
He passed.
So one thing that Ray and I spoke about last week on the show was that 72 season, those 72 players from the 1972 season, so many of them have CT or had CT. And that's how many of them is because that CT was so prevalent back then. And granted, medical advancements are better now, but CT in the 70s, so bad.
Of course, yeah, no. Look, the helmets were different back then. There was no such thing as a concussion protocol.
They were having concussions, but you just didn't know.
Of course, but I'm just saying, if they showed those signs, it was probably just like, hey, snap your fingers, or hey, can you see how many fingers I got up?
Yeah.
If they said the number or whatever, hey, get back in there. Or if they probably didn't go to the locker room.
Exactly.
It was like, sit on the side, I'll wave a towel in front of your face. All right, get back in there.
Put a little water on the face, splash.
Yeah, no, it's a different time. And, unfortunately, a lot of those players didn't get the best treatment and were affected by it. And but also, look, it's 50 years later. A lot of these players were in their late 20s, early 30s. So a lot of them now are, still not old, but, they're in the fourth quarter of their life, if you want to.
I don't like when people say that.
Well, it's a fact. I mean, a lot of these guys are in their early 80s.
They are, will be, yeah.
Right. So Don Shula passed away at 90. So,
You should wear your What Would Shula Do shirt tonight.
I may do so. I got my...
Lou has a great black shirt that I actually wear probably more than him. It says, "What would Shula do?" And, the throwbacks. I didn't even tell you about throwbacks. You go into the game tonight, wear a throwback. The field's painted throwback colors. So definitely, if you can make that happen, make it. But yes.
Hopefully, they can take advantage of the field, unlike the Hurricanes yesterday.
Oh, don't even talk about that on the show. Here's the thing, right?
Terrible.
Mario Cristobal inherited a team that he didn't draft these guys. He didn't recruit these guys. I say draft. He didn't recruit these guys, right? He's whatever was left to him from Coach Manny Diaz is what he's working with. Right. Now, I'm not discrediting anybody on the team. You guys are, obviously you're D1 athletes, right? That's more than I've ever been. But Mario Cristobal's magic, we haven't seen yet because he's working with what he had. Correct. So we have to give it some time, trust the process and stuff. But it is super frustrating to see you guys lose to like Middle Tennessee State, Duke. You lose to Duke. Yeah. You lose to Duke in basketball. You don't lose to them in football. Exactly. That's a basketball school.
Yeah. They should have.
Although Daniel Jones came from Duke. That's my point.
He's actually winning now. They're off to a great start. But your point taken. It's a basketball school. It's not a football school. And you lose to Duke, I can accept it. Now you lose to Duke by 24 points at home. That's not acceptable. I'm sorry. So
So Canes, you guys are struggling, man. Just call it what it is at this point. Their quarterback went down yesterday. It looks like a shoulder injury. So, all right.
So keys to the game tonight.
Oh, I'm ready to switch gears for basketball.
We'll talk. My keys to the game are this: we got to pressure Pickett, PP, pressure Pickett. We got to get to him
so much
often and early. Look, this is a guy.
Wilkins needs to do it. Jalen Phillips, throw your body like a flying squirrel and sack him. Break that offensive line and sack the man.
This is a rookie, making his third career start on national primetime. We got to make him definitely hit the ground a couple times.
Yeah.
We got to put pressure on him, make him force the ball out. We got to take advantage of the crowd being into the game tonight and definitely impose our will on him. We have to do that. Second key of the game is it's very simple. Keep the quarterback healthy. And in this case, I mean Tua on our side. The last 3 games, we've had the quarterback that started the game, didn't finish the game.
That's fact.
Tua went in against Cincy, left the game, obviously. Teddy took over. Teddy started the Jet game.
Jets?
Couldn't finish the game.
Skyler
started last week.
Teddy finished.
So
we just can't finish what we start.
If we keep the quarterback healthy, that's going to go a long way to coming out victorious. And they can't mess around. They can't let these guys hang in the game. They got to come off, early and often, pressure them on defense, move the ball down the field. Tua has a full green light, empty out the arsenal and just put these guys away.
I have a few more keys to the game.
Okay.
First, stay healthy. Everybody. I am the first one to say someone out there, maybe you, maybe your aunt, maybe somebody in Bora Bora has a voodoo doll of our team and they constantly prick, right? Everybody stay healthy. We're going down too much. Teron Armstead, Nick Needham, and then obviously the quarterback situation. Too many injuries on our squad. Obviously, it is part of the game. But we have to stay healthy, right? I know you say Tua. I know you say trust the quarterback. We need a healthy squad. And I know every team goes through it, but really, we got to stay healthy. Second key to the game, Teron Armstead, and I bring him up a lot. Block. I know you're left. You got to shift whatever you got to do. You have to, I know that's your job, but please, because you are the only one on the offensive line that I truly trust. I don't trust anybody else but him. So I definitely need. And then Sanders, my guy. Do not miss a kick. I'm not going to get mad if it's over 50 yards, but if it's a 32-yard, you cannot miss that kid. Sanders. So I'm saying Sanders, Teron Armstead needs to be enough for 10 people, and we just have to stay healthy.
Absolutely. And I think the other factor is the Brian Flores aspect. I think we got to stay away from that. They've done a good job.
I'm over him.
No, I know, but
he's not even worthy to come out of the mouth.
I understand, but here's where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
We've done a good job of avoiding, getting into a press, debate with him back and forth this week. They've said all the right things. They haven't really gotten into it. But if they put some pressure on Tua, or there's an interception or a fumble recovery, and then, the players on the Steelers sideline start looking at Brian, try to win the game for Brian. Mm-hmm. Hey, you're coming back here. We're going to show up.
It's like one of those things. Yeah, of course.
No. So it's one of those where they have to stay away from that, because it could be one of those where they're pointing over at their coach, or have Brian do something across the sideline. They can't get into that game. Focus on in between the white lines. Make sure that they deal with the people playing in front of them, and don't worry about the circus going on the sideline, because it is a circus. There's still a pending lawsuit going on. He said all these things about the Dolphins that ended up costing us a draft pick. Yeah. You can say whatever you want about it being the Brady tampering. All this started because of the investigation with Brian Flores.
Yeah, I agree.
So, and then also the happiness of the players. Let's be real. Tua, especially with Teddy and Skyler going down, Tua is now pretty much established the fact that we need him, and he's got to be successful for us to win.
Yeah.
And what did Brian Flores do? He totally, on Tua. He didn't believe in him. He didn't believe in him. He took him out of the game. He constantly benched him. He didn't give him
a lot of stuff we didn't see in the locker room. A lot of fighting between them. A lot of that too.
Look, Brian was a defensive coach, and we have a good defense. We had a good defense last year. We have a good defense this year. Okay, so what he wanted to do was say, hey, go out there, don't make any mistakes, and the defense will win the game here. That's what Brian's approach was, and in doing so, he pretty much handcuffed Tua. He said, no, don't open up the playbook. Limit the playbook so we don't make any mistakes. Let the defense win the game. So let's not make it about Brian Flores. Don't get involved in all that stuff. Just control what you can, and let's take care of business.
So Cap says 4 consecutive games where we throw a fourth quarter interception while scoring drive. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Let's limit the turnovers and penalties. For God's sakes, I beg you. That's Cap's way of winning the game. In the fourth quarter, ball out, no interceptions. Don't care if it's Tua, Bridgewater, Skyler, whoever it is. Do not throw the interception fourth quarter and stay in the game.
I'm with you, brother. I mean, definitely 100%. You got to take care of that ball. If you do that, and you're right, we've had a chance.
Ooh, Cap's throwing a little fire here. Say what you will. We had the least amount of penalties when Flo was here. I'm just saying.
That's true, too. I mean, we also do have a brand new offensive line for the most part, and that's what killed us last week against the Vikings.
Yeah.
So, and look, you're not going to get any help when you're having 3 different quarterbacks play this early in the season. That's
too much
never
rotation.
happen. So, but look, Brian Flores did have his team well coached, and so
we'll see what happens. Yeah. Score prediction, Cap. What do you think? Lou, what do you got?
My prediction is I think we're gonna win big here. I'm thinking 27-13.
Dolphins.
Yes, Dolphins. 27-13.
I'm saying 24-10. Dolphins.
Okay. Oh, look at that. You're going with the old week 5
No, I'm going
score.
with my birthday.
Your birthday. Okay. Oh, all right. I guess that's that too.
10-24 Dolphins, and you said 27-13.
27-13.
Perfect. Yeah. So again, you guys, tonight 8:20. Big game, biggest game the Dolphins have so far this year. Cap says we got to protect TUA. I agree. 27-17. All right, so he's giving Pittsburgh a little more points, but the 27 seems to be the consensus with the score. So, all right. Anything else?
No, let's finish it up talking the Heat. We were at the game last night. They finally got first win of the year.
All right, let's recap a little bit, right? So technically the NBA season did start earlier in the week. According to the Heat, it started last night because they did not show up against the Bulls, and they sure as heck did not show up against the Celtics. So our season started last night. So what do you think about the first game?
The first win or the first game?
I'm just kidding. Great show. Thanks, Cap. Take care, man. Fins up, baby. Okay, so yeah, no, I guess it should be fair, right? Okay, we'll play it as a whole. So far, what do you grade our season? I know it's only 3 games in.
No, it's 3 games. It's very early. Look, the Sixers lost a game at home last night to the Spurs, and the Spurs are not predicted to go anywhere.
You don't think the sport god said, "Hey, listen, you got the Eagles who are undefeated, you got the Phillies and the NLCS. Like, let me at least lose one of you." That's what happened there. The sports god tuned them back.
No, I think it's just it's early in the year. Anything can happen.
Of course.
Anything can happen at the beginning of the year. So the Heat, unfortunately, I think it was a tough break to hear Victor Oladipo, which. Very over it at this point. Him not being ready to go for game 1 after, rehabbing all summer, and he's finally back to 100%, and now he's missed the first 3 games of the year. So I thought they had a lot to do with it. That didn't help the cause. And then, look, we're facing 2. We actually started with 3 good teams: Toronto, the Bulls opening night, and the Celtics. Those are all Eastern Conference
good teams, right?
Teams that are in the mix to do some good things this year.
The team, yeah.
Correct. And then. The demoralizing one was the Celtics one because we were winning that game leading into the third quarter, and then the third quarter it all got reversed and we couldn't catch back up with them. But now that's 4 losses in a row on our home court.
Against Boston.
Yeah, we won game 1 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Then we lost game 2, 5, and of course game 7.
Okay.
And then this game on Friday night. So it's 4 losses in a row at the hands of the Celtics, and that's just something that they got to shake that out of the way because you're going to see them again in the playoffs, and you can't have a team, winning consecutive streak games against you. So they got to fix that.
Yeah, and I think some issues that I don't like. Bam Reddy's inconsistent. One day he's dunking in the paint like it's someone's business. The other day he's scared to even go up for a rebound. So Bam, you need to be more consistent.
Consistent and more aggressive.
What?
Consistent and aggressive.
Agreed.
Because
I'm telling you right now, Dedmon wants your position.
No,
I'm saying Dedmon's hungry.
Yeah, but Dedmon's not going to get it.
He won't get the position. I know, but I'm saying Dedmon is not scared.
He's ready to come in the game.
That's so scared. He's not scared to go in. He's not scared to take playing time from Bam. He's not scared to go in. He's not going to be like, you know what I mean? Dedmon is hungry. He wants to play.
We need Bam to do well.
Number 1. Number 2, Kyle Lowry, man, you're another one inconsistent. Some days I'm like, bro, why? Other days, so it's more consistency. Tyler Hero, you're looking fantastic. I don't know what juice, Haterade you drank off season. You were obviously the 6th man last year. You have had the starting position the last 3 games, and you well deserved, right? So Tyler's off to a great start. We know sometimes playoffs, you didn't show up, but if you stay to this level and you're so young, stick to it. And I feel like I have to tell you, Max Strus, I'm very biased when it comes to this guy. My favorite player on the Heat. Yeah. He's doing fantastic. He did fantastic yesterday. He looks disciplined. His defense, his shots are going in. He's not scared to pass the ball. Max is the guy.
No doubt. So, yeah, just like you said, they got to be more consistent right now. Got a lot of guys that are playing they're not playing up to their capabilities, and they're not doing it on routine basis. So I know it's 3 games in, but they definitely got to clean that up. And again, they didn't do anything in the offseason.
Yeah.
They actually lost PJ Tucker,
to the 76ers.
A huge part of our team.
Yeah.
They lost him. They didn't really improve. And then obviously Philly got better by getting Tucker. Yeah. They also made a couple other moves. The Celtics got Brogdon. They also picked up Blake Griffin. And then Danilo Gallinari isn't going to be available to the playoffs, but they obviously got better.
Yeah.
So we have to do everything possible to win these games, especially against a Bulls team. Coming up against Toronto Monday night at home, they got to take care of business because they're not going to have the luxury of having home court in the playoffs like they did last year. So they got to come out better.
I'm shocked to see who is in our chat right now because this very special lady should not be in the chat. She should be enjoying herself on the beautiful beaches of Fort Lauderdale. Sandy, my love. So good to hear from you and see you.
We'll see you later on tonight.
I told Lou, I said, I know you love me and everything. I said, but when you meet Sandy tonight, I said, you're probably going to fall out of love with me and love her. We're so excited to see you later. Remember, 6 o'clock at the MetaFans tent. Can't wait to see you and Jer. I hope you guys are having a blast down here. I keep seeing all the pictures on it. I'm sure you've seen our pictures on Facebook.
Yes. Having a great time.
You're like doing more in the state than we've done like in 45 years. You know what I mean? Like you're just accomplishing everything. So I cannot wait to hear about the stories. Keep having fun, and we're gonna see you in just a few. I love being able to tell Sandy we're gonna see her in a few hours. That's something I sent a notification to say hi. Perfect, good. So she sent a notification to stop by and say hi. We'll find you though. Absolutely. Don't worry. I was showing Lou the pictures from both campers and the game last week, and I have more pictures with you and videos than with anybody. So awesome. Super excited. The Heat, right? So we're 1-2 right now. We play Monday against the Raptors. Just slow start, get it together. I'm not panicking. There's no panic button. There's so much I like about the team. Just want to see more aggressiveness. And this week also started, of course, because this is how it works. When we opened on Wednesday, our buddies up the road, our Florida Panthers also opened up as well. Florida Panthers are currently 3-2. And they lost a close one against the Lightning, right?
Yeah, they can't beat their state rivals, the Lightning. So they got to figure out how to do that because obviously they lost and they got swept out of the playoffs last year against them. The Lightning have had a bunch of success, including winning multiple Stanley Cups. I believe it's up to 3 now that they've had. They played in it last year and they lost to the Avalanche. But
how do you say it?
The Avalanche.
You didn't say it like that first.
The Avalanche.
You said Avalanche.
Sorry.
I was like, wait, what?
The Avalanche. They lost to the Avalanche.
You said Avalanche. Avalanche.
No, I think I said I'm ready for lunch. I'm ready for lunch. It's almost lunchtime. But yeah,
I can't with you.
They beat the Avalanche.
This show we can't keep. You guys are on a thing, but this is like one of the blooper shows. Everything of this show is a blooper.
They beat the Avalanche last year in the Stanley Cup. They lost to the Avalanche. Sorry, they lost to the Avalanche. And they gotta keep up with the Lightning. The Lightning are obviously the premier team in their division, the conference, and they got to keep up with them and beat them. They got to show they can beat them.
No, I agree. We got to get to another game too. We only went to 1 last year.
Yeah,
right?
Just 1.
Well, we almost made it to 2, but we actually made it to the parking lot. No, and they're probably gonna think something bad. It was pretty bad, but it's not where you think it was. It was just bad because poor planning on someone's part.
Well, I had to get out of work, and okay, all right. It's far. It's a far drive away. I thought, whatever. We'll make it right.
So we made it to 1.5, 1 1/4 games last year. I won't even give it a half. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, it was so great chatting with Caps and Sandy. We got a big game tonight, right? Obviously, we're not used to these morning shows. We're ready to go to the game. I don't know what we're gonna do I know what we're gonna do for the next 4 hours. But like we got to get there. So again, for those coming to the game tonight, get there early. I'm an early person myself, but traffic's gonna be bad. Tailgating is gonna be crazy, and then just don't miss out on the 72 celebrations. This is like a once in a lifetime thing. I don't think most of us are gonna be around for the 100th celebration of it. So definitely take advantage of it. Can't wait to see you guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. And the next big one, if you want to go, is the 75th anniversary. And look, I hate to say it, I'm not the Grim Reaper or wishing whatever, but the reality is, just if you go by life expectancy, these guys won't be around at that time.
No, they won't. I don't even think you will. You're going to be what? Wait. 45 and 25. You're going to be what?
I'm 44 right now.
You're going to be 80?
I'll be something like that. But yeah, look, it's enjoy now because 50th anniversary of anything is a big deal. And we got to celebrate it while we can.
I'm going to sneeze. Keep talking.
Okay. All right, so yeah. Whoa,
me.
bless you. Whoa,
That was not a magnitude 4.2 earthquake. I promise. That was not an earthquake.
Wow. All right.
I'm sneezing up. All my elements, I'm not good. I don't know.
Jeez,
I did.
oh, I can't believe you just did that.
You want to know how things you do off camera? You want to tell them what happens when you sneeze?
No.
Okay, then.
But yeah, no, look, it's 50th year anniversary. You got to definitely take it all in. Go out there, see as much as you can. Buy some gear. They're gonna have a lot of cool promotional stuff out there.
Stadium is cashless, by the way, guys. Big point. Cashless stadium. So make sure you have your tarjeta.
Or your Apple Pay. You can have Apple Pay as well.
You don't even have Apple Pay.
I don't, but you could have that. But get out there early.
You know I do, though.
Get out there early. Enjoy all the festivities and everything going on. Take it all in. And yeah, let's get that W.
Get that dub.
Yep.
All right, guys. Until then, we'll catch up with you next week. Recap kind of where the Heat are at that point. Hopefully, we're talking about Dolphins win because God knows I'm not talking 4 straight next week with the Dolphins loss. And until then, enjoy the game tonight. Be loud, be proud, and fins up.
Fins up. Let's go. See you out there tonight.